Hey, Max here. So today I want to do a lineup update, something I don't know if I've done this year actually, but we're pretty much in the end times now. We'll talk about this in a little bit about the grind and stuff. So here's my prestige lineup. It's not my actual lineup, but the one that I want to talk about. And really I prepped this and I really grinded the events over the last couple weeks to try and get this lineup done because of the Mike Trout set. Because I thought it would take maybe more than 5 prestiges. It only took 5, but I basically leveled all these, around the same time. I got these done, so all the, blood diamonds are here. And I got some more that are progressing, some that are really close, some that aren't, obviously. Pitchers, I got Hershiser and Mo done. I think the closest other one is Tom Henke, since he's only like 44 innings and starters are like 3 times that amount. I think Paxton's pretty close too, and whatnot. So, those are all my prestiges I've done. Kind of a cool lineup. I really like that. I think prestiges actually added quite a bit of value to this year's game, and I think it's something that should stay in the game going forward. I know a lot of people are really angry at it because like, oh, it just makes people boost in events, and makes events maybe sweatier because more people are doing them. And I don't know. I think the pros and how cool they are really outweigh the cons of people boosting and grinding that kind of stuff. So I think they should come back. I really like it. I really enjoy it. The only downsides of prestiges is some cards just don't have them. Mike Trout obviously just came out, so I'm not even close to him. But let's go through. Here's the Pirates theme team. I don't know if I'm going to do a video on that. Maybe if they get an upgraded Honest Wagner here for shortstop or O'Neill, maybe then I'll do a video on that. But it's not good enough to really feel like I want to do it. The pitching's okay there. They got like Cole and whatnot. But here's my lineup right now, and I'll go through it. And there's a few things that I'm kind of like worried about. Like, you see, I don't have as many lefties. Like, I hit a lot better with lefties than righty. I do have 2 switch hitters right now. But I do kind of want one more lefty, second base catcher. The only issue with second base, if we go ahead and take a look at Jackie Robinson here, the left-handed bat, Cano, is awful. He's awful at defending. So it's like, sure, I can get a really cool left-handed bat. He hits bombs. But do I care about giving up infield defense? And like you guys heard me say this before, shortstop, second base, I care mostly about speed there, ranging to balls, because those are the ones that are kind of hard to do. The animations are nice, but, they have really good range and pretty decent fielding there at 86, 90 on Rollins. His bat isn't as good as, say, other shortstops. Yount was amazing for me. I could show you Yount's stats when I had him for his base. He hit 410 for me, and like I said, there's a lot of that Hall of Fame All-Star event in that. So 1,200 OPS, which is pretty good, right? That's like, career Ruthian numbers. But I didn't love his range at defense. Like, his fielding at 90, he still made more errors than I thought he should. I was like, why didn't he make that play? So it was very frustrating with Robin Yount there. So I also enjoy the switcher. So why Jimmy Rollins doesn't have as good as stats they're hitting, I do really enjoy his speed to give me a little extra range. If I were to truly say, hey, what am I going to do? It's my cap, right? My cap, I think, is the best. But, I think cap shouldn't be in the game next year. I don't really enjoy them. That's actually the best card, but he doesn't look as cool. His stats in game are obviously going to be higher due to equipment. So he's actually the best cap in the game because his speed goes up to the 80s. So he'd be somebody I'd use in ranked seasons. But we're going Rollins for now. We're trying him out. I'm only hitting 355 with him, so not very good at all, which kind of matches his stats, right? Only, you really want over 100 contact right now. Power is the meta, so his stats show, and it's kind of reflecting, even though it's a little bit smaller sample size, that he isn't as good as only 1,000 OPS versus like 1,200 plus, which is most of my players, right? And then you go over to other players that I have, like Musial here. He's got 1,400 slugging percentage, batting average at 556, but again, only 45 at-bats versus like 200 where I got him with some of my other guys. So a little bit smaller of a sample size. He's been hitting pretty well for me. 11 home runs and 45 at-bats. Hitting over 500. Yeah, Musial's been a fucking beast. Like, that 125 contact and whatnot on lefty and righty, it's a fucking cheat code. It is totally a cheat code. Trout here, you guys know, he's dominating, of course. He's starting to bail out. Mickey Mantle all year long has been great. Only 400 on the new card, but 1,300 OPS because he smacks dingers, 13 home runs, about one every, 9 at-bats there. Larry Walker, like I said, I want more lefties in here. And he's actually got decent speed, hitting 441 through 150 plate appearances. And, decent speed, good arm, basically an ideal right fielder. And I said during that Mike Trout review, if I had to choose between Trout and the Stubbs or Larry Walker, I'd choose Larry Walker. Larry Walker's really good, right? Trout's got a few extra speed on him, but Larry Walker's lefty, and I feel like there's a lot more like well-statted righties than there are lefties. So I try to fit as many lefties in my lineup as possible, but try not to go more than like 3 if I got switch hitters in the two. Like 3 righties, 3 lefties, 2 switch hitters, great. I love it. If it was all switch hitters, even better. But Harman Killebrew is my biggest like question mark, right? I love Harman Killebrew. I mean, I OPS with his original card, 1,400, hit 393, but 50 home runs and 352 plate appearances or 300 at-bats. You know, he walks as much as he strikes out because people are fearful of him. And I don't take a lot of pitches, right? I'm a very aggressive hitter, and he still took 40 walks from me. So, insane to me. On-base percentage 460 with a slugging of 900. Harman Killebrew was great. But he's one more right-handed batter, and like, whereas these positions don't have a ton of great lefties, you know, there's a few, like we talked about. Shortstop, we got switch hitting Ozzie Smith, but I already have a switch hitter. We got Didi Gregorius, which Didi's okay. You know, he's okay for me. In 333 with 1,100 OPS. Didi's been okay, but again, he doesn't have the range of Rollins, so I keep Rollins there. So like, there's really no left-handed catchers, right? You basically need a cap there, which is fine. But this Jason Kendall card, this one was surprisingly amazing for me. It's because of his contact. His contact's 115, 118. He hit 429 with a 1,200 OPS. He also hit 21 home runs and 233 at-bats. So yeah, Kendall, one of my better, like, surprising hitters out there. And then I just got the, I got the Blood Diamond too, so he's over 120 contact versus righty. So Kendall is sneaky good. Like, super underrated catcher. But there's no lefty there. There's not a great lefty at these positions. So, third base, I got George Brett. And I try to determine, like, you're like, oh, George Brett, not really a power hitter with the 80s power, whereas Killebrew's huge power hitter. I don't know. I just love dudes that jack the ball out. But then you look at George Brett hitting 475 through 167 plate appearances, 158 at-bats. So I don't really walk with him a ton. I also don't strike out a ton. 7 and 8. People aren't as afraid of George Brett as they are of, like, Killebrew, but he still OPS is 1,400. So Brett basically produces the same thing as Killebrew, stat-wise. I guess we can look at total, I think that's total average, 1,800 for Brett, and Killebrew would be 1,600. So he actually out-hit Killebrew if we go by total average. But I don't know. I think it's just lefty versus righty in the contact, although, you know, Brett's also better speed and fielding. So Brett might overall, like, if we look at range factor, we get 491 range factor on Brett. And what's Killebrew's range factor? Oh, whoa. 1,200? That ain't right. Huh. Did not expect it to be that. Oh, shoot. It's because I played him a lot at first base. Dang it. So his stats got screwed up. That's why it's not a comparison. Shoot. Yeah, I put Killebrew at first base for a bunch when I was training up Brett to do the Blood Diamond. So his stats are screwed up, so you can't really compare it that great. I wish they had better advanced stats in this game. They do a really good job of stats, but I wish they were slightly better. Anyways, that's kind of lineup right now. I lead off with Trout, so I don't know. I'm kind of on that, but like I want Trout I want these guys getting the most at bats, right? My top 5. Whereas, like, maybe I can mix in these guys to provide a little bit, like, maybe I can move down one of my power hitters. I'm thinking about maybe if I lead off with Rollins or somebody with high contact like Robinson. Like, if I could lead off with Robinson, if I go, like, Robinson, Mantle, Musial, and then put Trout at number 4, Trout, Killebrew, or I could put somebody that can get on base in front of 2 other sluggers. Like, maybe this is the move. The problem is the guys without power get more at-bats now, right? They get slightly more. But, I don't know. Jackie's hitting 430 for me, which is pretty solid. I don't feel as comfortable hitting with Jackie as I do with a lot of these other guys, right? I feel super comfortable hitting with Mantle, Musial, Walker, Trout. I don't know. I'm getting a little uncomfortable. And then to Killebrew, I'm like, okay, yeah, just please throw me a strike. So I do feel more comfortable with that, but maybe I will should go to something more like this, more balanced throughout with power, and then Kendall being number 8. Kendall's great at number 8 because I really like him. He's able to just get on base for me, and not make that 8 out, so that way I don't have to lead off the inning with a pitcher. So that's why I love Kendall there. So that's kind of my lineup where I'm thinking right now, if I were to go into ranked seasons, this is how I'd roll it. Yeah, I don't mind this at all, right? Power, contact mixed throughout. But we'll see as we get more cards. But yeah, my bench, 2 lefty pinch hitters. Bellinger does nothing but fucking hit bombs. 35 home runs and 147 plate appearances. He's insane. I love this Bellinger card. Like, I love him so much. I'm like, well, who can I replace him with? I'm like, I don't know. I think Bellinger instead of Trout. If I didn't get Trout, I'd be very comfortable with Bellinger out there. Bellinger instead of Trout. Like, Bellinger is... I hate pitching to Bellinger, too. Bellinger, Reggie Jackson, and then, like, Sheffield that have a lefty up. Those are the three horsemen of the I hate this apocalypse for my opponents. Jim Thome. This is the Blood Diamond Jim Thome. Let me show you what the original Jim Thome did for me. Hit 424, 34 home runs, and 210 at-bats. And a lot of that was earned during the Hall of Fame event. So he hit 1451. Fucking glorious. This guy is an absolute... Like, even against lefties, we're like, oh, his stats against lefties aren't that good. Something about this card. This card fucks. Jim Thome, I'm also super afraid to pitch to him if I'm on the mound. Yeah, Thome, there's like... So he was insane. And then Sheffield, Posey. This is the Blood Diamond Sheffield. I haven't really used him much. Just 3 at-bats. I think I got walked twice there. Posey's been pretty decent for me. The reason I like Posey on the bench, even though he's hitting 500 and 28 plate appearances, those are all on All-Star. That's all from the recent event, so that's a little skewed. That's a little bit more skewed than a lot of the guys that I played most of their at-bats in the Hall of Fame event. Buster Posey is great against left-handed pitchers, but he's not that great against righties. So that's why I start Kendall, and then maybe if I'm playing a lefty or it's a lefty reliever late, I'll sub in Posey for Kendall. But also if like one of my slow guys gets on base, I then have Ricky Henderson on the bench with his 99 speed, free Ricky Henderson to come in, and then I can replace him because like all of my players play the slow players' positions. So like if I need a runner to get a run late, and I say I get like Killebrew on, then I'll just I'll put Ricky Henderson in, and then I can throw Gary Sheffield in after that, after he comes back into third base for Killebrew. So that's kind of my thought right there with the bench, is I got a pinch runner there for late situations. Otherwise, a pinch run for whoever the pinch hitter is. My pitching staff right now is kind of up in the air. The only two that I know that I'm going to keep forever are these two. These ones are just there to kind of rack up innings for the Blood Diamonds right now. But Scott, I didn't love him. Paxton's been very good for me. Greg Maddux. Ooh, maybe I should throw Greg Maddux in here. Greg Maddux has been okay. He can either get beaten up. Good hitters destroy him. And I think average hitters do well against him too because they don't have any velocity. I'm on the fence of turning him back in. But I'm going to keep pitching with him a few more innings. Obviously, these aren't all-stars, so it's not as good. Like, all-stars, it's so much easier to hit these low-velocity pitchers. Even high-velocity guys are a lot easier, but Greg Maddux, Oral, they both suffered pitching an all-star in the event. And, that's what it is. That's all-star. Whereas I feel like even guys that throw 100 in the event still do okay. They're obviously not as dominant as they would be on Hall of Fame, but all pitchers take a huge nerf in the all-star event. Al Leiters I hate in this All-Star event. I've used them and I just felt bad about it. It's hard to get people to be deceived because it's so easy to foul balls off. But otherwise, I have 1.4 million stubs, I think you guys saw. But I still run base Aroldis Chapman. Until he stops producing, he's going to stay there. I think this card is good. Right? I think the sinker with the outlier on his regular card is actually a downgrade. I prefer a big difference in velocity between the four seam and the sinker. Not obviously the Hayek card is better, but do I feel the need to get it? Not really. Truly not really. Unless I pull it out of a pack, which I got some ducks in the pond. I got a lot of packs to pull that I've earned from rewards. It's been great. Mariano Rivera. I pitched 2 innings with this upgraded card, 7.71 small sample size, so I continue to struggle with him. I got a little bit better with this card. I brought his ERA down a little bit before I got him to Blood Diamond, but still struggling. Still struggling, trying to throw more sinkers and sliders, and people just seem to be able to hit him. I don't know. I don't know if the ball comes off the bat harder than a lot of other pitchers. Tom Hankey, I'm trying to Blood Diamond him. He hasn't been great for me either. I don't love his... Like I said when I initially saw him, his forkball isn't enough of a change off of his fastball. So people that maybe are trailing the fastball a little, just absolutely smack the forkball. So he almost feels like a 2-pitch pitcher. Although a forkball into a guy, like into a lefty that's really on your fastball, is an amazing pitch. So forkball it does have its purpose. Otherwise, Raleigh Fingers have been my most consistent pitcher. I think he had 2 bad outings lately. This last outing, I think he just died. I think they just fucked him up this last outing. He scored I think I got a grand slam off him or something. So that way he raised his ERA. But overall, bullpen pieces not nearly as strong as my starters, which is why it's easy to get 99 overall starters, but it's so hard to get those kind of like equal pieces in the bullpen. And that's kind of the game right now. But there it is, the lineup update. What's your guys' looking like? Anybody you guys going to add soon? I'm still testing out Rollins, see if I like him. Might move back to Yount or, hopefully get an Honest Wagner. Hopefully a part of the next inning or some sort of like headliner program. I just want an Honest. I want the Pirate bad. But like the only ones that I'm looking to replace probably in the future, I'm guessing I'll probably end up getting with like a Babe Ruth over Larry Walker because I really like Babe Ruth. Probably my favorite player all time. So Ruth, maybe a Jimmy Fox. And maybe if I can play Jimmy Fox at catcher like last year, that would be fucking awesome. I don't want a Jimmy Fox there. So Jimmy Fox or, maybe new legend Josh Gibson. Jimmy Fox, Babe Ruth. First base, I could see, I don't know, like Lou Gehrig maybe will come out better than Stan, but man, like I said, Stan's been fucking massacring the ball. 2,000 OPS, but, small sample size. And then middle infield. Second base, I don't know, would a Roberto Alomar card come out here that I'd be like, yes, or who would be my second baseman? Honestly, Honest Wagner, if he had a second base secondary, would be kind of cool. That's who I play. Shortstop has a lot more competition there. But anyways, that's it for the lineup update. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching Call to Action. I'll see you tomorrow.